The collision leading to the collapse of the Francis Scott Key Bridge was completely preventable. That, according to official findings from the NTSB released today. Investigators say a single loose wire on board the Dolly cargo ship plunged the ship into darkness moments before the impact. Experts say the loose wire could have been detected if Dolly crew members used modern inspection methods. Well, the investigation then shows the misuse of a flushing pump led to a second blackout on board that ship.
The report also finds the Dolly's high voltage breakers were in manual mode, and the blackout would have been much shorter if the breakers were in automatic. The NTSB says the construction workers on the Key Bridge were given no warning when the Dolly was about to hit the bridge. 6 of those workers died in the collapse, and NTSB members addressed the victims' families today.
Your loved ones should still be with us today. Please know that as a result of this investigation, we will continue to advocate for the full implementation of all the safety recommendations adopted today.
The NTSB now recommends that Maryland install a better warning system to alert workers and drivers about potential hazards. Earlier estimates show the Key Bridge was nearly 30 times above the acceptable threshold for catastrophic collapse. The NTSB is now asking 68 bridges nationwide to undergo a safety assessment, including both spans of the Chesapeake Bay Bridge. In a recent assessment, both spans were deemed to be at risk.
New estimates show the projected cost to rebuild the Key Bridge is now more than doubled, putting a possible price tag at more than $5 billion. Fox 45's Mackenzie Frost looks into the inflated costs and timeline surrounding the project.
Not only did the price tag double for the new Key Bridge rebuild, but the timeline means we could be looking at 5 more years from now before the new bridge is reopened. So how was the original estimate so off, and where will the additional money come from? These are questions, and I'm pressing the executive director of the Maryland Transportation Authority to find out.
The catastrophic collapse of the Key Bridge comes at a cost. Originally, the top price, just under $2 billion to rebuild, and the new bridge would be open by late 2028. But now the budget tops out at $5.2 billion, and the timeline for reopening pushed to the end of 2030.
When we made the initial estimates, so it was, in April, early April of right after the Dolly struck the bridge, and we had 0% design.
Bruce Gartner is the executive director of the Maryland Transportation Authority. He says as work got underway on the rebuild effort,
the bridge in design has changed since then.
Gartner says the NTSB has strict standards for new bridges, especially given the size of cargo ships coming in and out of the Port of Baltimore.
And it means that the bridge has to be wider across the river, so 1,600 feet in width. We weren't expecting it to be that much. There's also 6 total structures around the main cable stay, different spans.
Did the NTSB requirements change from when the initial estimates came out?
No. So the AASHTO standards that all bridge owners have to basically follow for the new bridges, they were in place. It's about the engineering and the calculations that you do to see how you design the bridge once you have those.
So is this the result of the contractor who miscalculated the projection here, or was this an MDTA issue?
No, so in the early days, we didn't have our engineering firm on board. We were required, in order to be eligible for the emergency relief programs, we had to come out with some type of estimate. We would have, preferred to have an engineering firm on with as a contractor, but there simply wasn't the time.
The Trump administration has raised concerns about the price tag and timeline for the rebuild effort, even after Congress secured a 100% cost-sharing agreement at the end of the Biden administration. U.S. Department of Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy sent this letter to Governor Wes Moore in September with his questions. Duffy writing, "I'm particularly interested in how the state of Maryland plans to achieve key delivery metrics for the Key Bridge, including the estimated $1.8 billion project cost and the 2028 completion date," something Duffy talked about during his exclusive interview with Fox 45 Spotlight on Maryland.
But we want to build this project in a way that is cost effective and actually can be built quickly. I don't know that the governor is on that path right now.
With the news of a ballooning price tag and longer completion, a U.S. DOT spokesperson tells Fox 45 News in a statement that Secretary Duffy has been sounding the alarm, adding the Trump administration does not write blank checks, and as the secretary warned Wes Moore, oversight of this project is sorely needed.
How do you respond to that?
I think when they look into those details, they'll see that we've been trying to build the bridge efficiently, design it efficiently. So we'll continue to work with them on that process.
The excuses they're giving just doesn't mesh with the reality of the need for the bridge.
John Dede is a political analyst in the Baltimore area.
It seems a little ridiculous to all of a sudden say, well, now the costs are inflated because of A, B, and C.
He says right now the biggest question has yet to be answered.
Where are they going to get the money from? The funding is already in danger as it is.
That's something we pushed the MTDA executive director to answer.
Will taxpayers be on the hook for the difference here, or is this something that you're going to go back to Congress and say we need more money than originally was projected?
So the way that the statute is written is the 100% guarantee. Now Congress can rewrite statute anytime they want. So that's why the governor is going to work closely with Congress, and we will work closely with the US DOT so we can figure out how to get the bridge rebuilt.
Governor Moore has had a tumultuous relationship with the White House, butting heads over the National Guard in Baltimore, and most recently over the redistricting battle that's brewing.
He needs to stop poking the bear at every opportunity he sees and to tone down the rhetoric. The funding for the bridge is the number one thing Marylanders are concerned about.
As the price for a new Key Bridge rises, MDTA defends the original estimate.
Was that a mistake on the state's part, making that number estimate, given where the range is now, significantly higher?
We did what we could do at that time.
U.S. Senator Chris Van Hollen of Maryland, who also sits on the Senate Appropriations Committee, tells me that he believes the federal government's commitment to covering the cost has been critical to ensuring that this project gets done. He also says that he looks forward to a full briefing from the state of Maryland. In the newsroom, Mackenzie Frost, Fox 45 News.
I'm Kai Jackson. Thank you for watching. Here's another video to watch. Also, please take a moment to subscribe to our channel.